Meet Darren, a person with a mobility disability.
My name is Darren, D-A-R-R-E-N. Gabbert, G-A-B-B-E-R-T. I am a born-again Christian, in the Mennonite faith. I am 53 years old, and have an advanced form of muscular dystrophy, called spinal muscular atrophy. It is a genetic condition that affects the nerves that control muscle movement. By 2005, my disease progression had reached complete paralysis, with the exception of surviving facial muscles and the left pectoral muscle.
What type of assistive technology do you use?
After losing my voice, I began relying on switch control for computer access. As I speak with you right now, I am using single switch scanning to access my augmentative and alternative communication app on my smartphone. This app allows me to type text to be spoken. It also lets me pre-program phrases to be spoken. Obviously, as much as possible, I type what I am going to say ahead of time. The technology that I use includes an EMG switch that detects signals from my surviving pectoral muscle. I operate my smartphone as well as navigate my power wheelchair using that single muscle. In addition to my smartphone, I use Words plus Easy keys to access my Microsoft Surface Pro 3. The Surface Pro is my primary workstation, and it is typically docked and connected to dual monitors. I can pull my power wheelchair up to my office desk, activate my infrared switch using my powered leg rests, and trigger the switch by twitching my left cheek muscle. With this system, I can type around 12 words per minute and have very efficient mouse control. To prevent fatigue, I alternate the switch scanning with eye gaze technology. Eye gaze can be a little faster than switch access, but I find it much more fatiguing and not at all portable.
How does a combination of assistive technologies allow you to access the internet?
That is an interesting question. Internet data streaming is embedded in almost all technology applications. So even when I am writing a document on my Surface Pro 3, that document is saved to the cloud and will be accessible to my Android smartphone while I am here talking to you, or if I am lying in bed, only able to access my iPad. I still have the ability to access and continue writing the same document. The internet, in many subtle ways, adds a layer of independence that was not there even 10 years ago, when my assistive technology enables me to access my main workstation, or my smartphone, or my tablet. The internet is right there, leveraging the power of those devices. For work, for leisure, for commerce, for home automation, for healthcare, and list goes on and on.
What does access to the internet mean for you?
I have a fairly complex medical condition, and some significant limitations. I find it quite amazing that, due to the internet, I can independently manage my health care. 20 years ago, I was more physically able, but had to depend on my wife to do a great deal more than I do now. My tie-down system, which keeps my wheelchair secure in my van, just recently died. To replace it new would have been around $5,000. I found one on eBay. like new, with all its documentation, for $500. It cost $74 to ship from Israel, and it was on my doorstep in 6 days. If you step back and think about it, this guy that has a surviving muscle, and that muscle is triggering a switch, and those switch triggers are making things happen. Things that have a global reach. Someone that cannot move, speak, or breathe on his own can work a job, present webinars, conduct research, communicate, manage healthcare, adjust the thermostat, start his van, and travel safely because he bought a tie-down system from Israel.
Describe how a website barrier affected your online access.
This year was participating in the Clifton Strengths program. Our department had all of us take this assessment to better understand our strengths. The assessment piece involved answering a bunch of questions, with only a few seconds as a time limit per question. I noticed, though, on the home page, after logging in, that there was a notice that if the time limit caused a barrier to access, contact us to turn this feature off for your account. Now, what is amazing is that I made the contact. It was an email address. And within a few hours, I received a reply telling me the time limit feature had been turned off for my account. And I did the assessment without any problem. This is a great example of where the web application presented an obstacle to accessibility, but the developer proactively provided an option for an accommodation.
How can access be improved?
Similar to persons that use screen readers, Switch users are most proficient using keyboard navigation. If I go to a web page and can select the tab key a few times to move focus to the link that I want, and press enter to activate the link, then I am a happy camper. When we test websites for accessibility, most of the obstacles are from developers taking shortcuts. Sometimes they honestly are not aware that the shortcuts cause problems for people using screen readers, or folks that rely on keyboard navigation. But they do. Use intelligent labeling. Be intentional about focus sequence, and plan for keyboard navigation and activation.
Last thought?
Accessible design matters.
To learn more, watch the other AT user videos in this series. You can see more AT user videos by visiting our YouTube channel, Missouri AT. Thank you, Darren, our AT user in this video, www.at.mo.gov.